Father O'Malley and Rabbi Schwartz were the best of friends. They were the best of friends. And one day they were having lunch at a diner, and Father O'Malley puts down his ham and cheese sandwich and says, you know, dietary restrictions for kosher was fine in ancient times, but when are you going to get with the program and eat this wonderful food like I am, a ham and cheese sandwich? And the rabbi didn't miss a beat. At your wedding. I share that because they were the best of friends. And when you're best friends, you don't have to believe the same things. You don't have to be the same. In fact, you accept and appreciate and love your differences. I share that because Wednesday is International Friendship Day, July 30th every year. It was started in the UN in 2011. And they were inspired by something going on in Paraguay since 1958 to cultivate friendships. Because when you cultivate friendships, when you really have good friends in your life, it fosters more dialogue, meaningful dialogue. It helps build relationships. It helps us have more peace because we have more understanding of each other, more connection with each other. This weekend we had a women's retreat, and yeah, there's some women in the room that were there, and hopefully you made some good connections and maybe started some new friendships, and we had a lot of fun too. And one of the fun things, where's Sandy Fisher? She did a laughing yoga, and it was so fun. Yay! So I'm going to show a video in just a little bit, and I'm giving myself permission to show a little longer than usual video because, you know, it's kind of busy this weekend. But after the video, if you like it, so we go, very good, yay! Okay, everybody got it? The women in the room have it. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, so anyway, where was I? International Friendship Day. The women's retreat was so much fun. I have some coasters at home that say, friends are your chosen family. Sometimes family are your chosen friends. And I have my sister here. She flew in from, my sister Chris, she flew in from Tucson yesterday, and I'm just going to spend a few days with Kevin and I, so we're really blessed to have her here. She will be the first to tell you that she is the younger sister. 1 year and 4 days. But who's counting? She is. Anyway, so glad to.
Because you're my only older sister.
Right, I'm the oldest. Anyway. I don't know where I was going after that. It's a friend day, yeah, so we want to appreciate our friends. Arthur Brooks wrote an article about Aristotle, and Aristotle in his book, I'm not going to remember it. I had it first service. I swear I had the word. Nicomachean Effect, the Nicomachean Effect. And Aristotle wrote about the ladder of friendship, that there's really a ladder. And so on the low end of the friendship are friends that are in your life because you need something. You need help. You need help with a goal or a project, and they need your help with something else. And so it's really a transactional kind of friendship. And then you go up the friendship ladder, and you have people in your life who you enjoy doing things. You have similar interests. You have similar beliefs. You like doing things together. You maybe appreciate them for some attribute that they have. And this is a better type of friendship than the lower one, but it's still kind of transactional. You're getting something out of it. You're getting entertainment or whatever. And then Aristotle talks about the perfect friendship, which is at the very top of the ladder, where you want nothing but the best for this person. You will for them to have an incredible life. You want all good things to come to them. And that's the best kind of friendship to have. And Arthur Brooks talked about how these friendships from the lower levels are really friendships of deals, not friendships of reals. And so what we want, and he said, when we don't have many real friendships, top of the ladder kind of friendships, that we feel lonely. We often feel lonely. There's been a number of studies about loneliness. And I watched a short documentary yesterday from PBS that said that up to 60% of adults feel lonely often. 60%. And this woman that they interviewed was saying that it's a lot due, and she thinks a lot due to technology. That she can see people going to dinner with each other. They're out to dinner and they're just both looking at their phones. And we all do that. We're all guilty of that, looking at our phones. But really, maybe it's time to put the phone down and really connect with each other. If we want the real kind of friendships, the top of the ladder friendships, we need to have dialogue. We need to interact. We need to spend time with them. So there's this video that I want to show, that I'm going to show, and it's a group of friends. It's a big group of friends in college, and it's Britain's Got Talent. Somebody from this community shared it with me, and it's a perfect unity message. The group, they call themselves Unity. So let's have a look at this.
Hi!
Right, what's the name of this amazing looking group?
We are called Unity. We're all friends in college, so we decided to put this group together to perform a piece called I Will, which is about being told that you can't or you're not enough, and how as a group that we come together and power through that.
Lovely. I love that she's giving you the mic, and he's like, why are you handing it to me? What's your name, young man?
My name's Kieran.
Kieran. What would you do if you were to win the money? Would you split it between all of you?
We'd have to figure that one out.
Or you're just a calculator, darling, divide.
Do you think you can win?
I certainly hope so.
Okay, good luck. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much.
I have autism. I am 80-year-old. People say I can't. I will.
No, your mom don't get it, and your dad don't get it, Uncle John don't get it. And you can't tell Grandma 'cause her heart can't take it, and she might not make it.
I'm Declan, and labels don't define me. I push the gender boundaries, but don't allow discrimination to change who I am. People stare and say things. They try to label me. They say I can't be who I am. I will.
They say don't dare, don't you even go there, cutting off your long hair, you do as you're told. Till you wake up, go put on your makeup, this is just a phase you're gonna outgrow. There's something wrong in the village, in the village. Oh, they stare in the village, in the village. Oh, there's nothing wrong with you. It's true, it's true. There's something wrong with the village, with the village. There's something wrong with the village.
I'm Steph. I'm Libby. And we are in love. Since we came out, we constantly have eyes on us. For something as simple as holding hands walking down the street. Whereas a male and female can kiss in public and no one would look twice. They don't want us to show our love. We will.
There's nothing wrong with you. It's
I'm Junior.
Growing up, I was bullied for my love of dance. Dancing makes me feel free and allows me to act out my feelings in a safe place. Bullies ruined this. I was beaten up and called names, all because a boy loved to dance.
I'm Kira. Society has conditioned me to believe that I will never be good enough because of my size, that I will be unsuccessful if I don't change my shape. People say I'll never make it. I will.
There's something wrong in the village, in the village. Oh, they stare in the village, in the village. Oh, there's nothing wrong with you. It's true, it's true. There's something wrong with the village, with the village. Something wrong with the village.
Our abilities aren't hindered because of our differences. Our talents aren't any less because we are unique. Our worth isn't defined by our diversity. It is not our differences that divide us. It is our inability to recognise, accept, embrace and celebrate those differences.
I'd never judge somebody on the way they wear their body, but I pull myself to pieces. I don't know why I do. If I could only learn to see myself how other people do, I'd say I'm not my thoughts. This is my house and these are my rules. When I stand in my reflection,
Wasn't expecting that.
say I'm not my thoughts. This is my house and these are my rules.
You can be anything you want and anyone you want to be in life. The message is loud and clear. The execution, artistically, your choreography was superb. It really is a fantastic performance at every level. I had goosebumps, that's all I can say.
Well, it was such a beautiful...
The audience want a goal, but there aren't any goals left.
Bruno plus it anyway. Doesn't care.
I've already done it twice. I can't anymore.
For me, it was such a beautiful, passionate piece. The message was so strong. Everything that you stand for, all of your personalities, the love that you have for each other, all the different characters involved in this group, all of that made this such an amazing and special thing. It was beautiful.
I thought that actually was astonishing. The way that you got your message across, it was so strong. It was an audition I'll never forget. What you've done it your way. And look, we don't have any golden buzzers left.
They'd be nailed on for a golden buzzer if we had any left.
But sometimes I feel you should just break the rules.
What's going on anymore?
Do we get another one then?
I don't know.
I hope so.
Honestly, you deserve that golden buzzer. was absolutely beautiful.
I was very moved by that. That's how you use a stage, and I feel very proud of all of you. We heard your message loud and clear.
Yeah, good. Okay. Very good, very good. Yay! Sandy, our leader. Thank you. I love that. I love that video. I didn't know what a gold buzzer was for because I don't normally watch the show. Does anybody know the gold buzzer? So I had to Google it. It means that you go straight to semifinals. There's no obstacle. It's like pulling a community chess piece on Monopoly, advance directly to go, collect your $200. Like there's nothing to stand in your way. And I guess they only get to give so many of those in a season. And sometimes you got to break the rules. Sometimes it's deserving. But don't we all deserve a gold buzzer? Yes, we all deserve a gold buzzer. Go directly to the good. And we have a direct line. It's just going within. Going within. We have a direct line to all this goodness, all this amazingness, all this magnificence within us. We just have to go within. But we put up obstacles. We put up obstacles for ourselves. We put up obstacles for making friends. What? I don't have time. I'm so busy. I have to work. I have to work out, or, whatever. We make it harder for ourselves. Friendships do require time, in-person time, one-on-one time. And so with International Friendship Day, it's an invitation to honor the friendships you have, to appreciate the friendships you have, to let them know that you appreciate them. Let them know. There's a study called Social Baseline Theory by Dr. James Cone. And in it, he says our brains are developed based on already established knowing that we will have connection. And so what this means is when our lives are a lot easier when we're with other people. They're a lot easier, they're less challenging, they're more enjoyable. And when we're alone, things feel more dangerous, more challenging, more disturbing. If you're standing at the foot of a steep hill, if you're with other people, it won't seem as steep. And if you're alone, it'll seem really steep. Same with pain management, that if we are holding the hand of a friend when we're experiencing pain, the pain's not as bad. Even if we're looking at a picture of a friend or a loved one, the pain is not as bad as when we're alone. So in this study, they tried to determine, well, what gets turned on in the brain to bring about this connection? And so they did studies when people were with friends to try to discern this. And they couldn't find anything. Like there was nothing that got turned on in the brain. And what they concluded is it's because it doesn't need to be turned on. It's already on. We're hardwired to connect with people. There's no switch that needs to get flipped. It's already there. It's our default system. We connect. We have the ability to connect. And oftentimes we maybe find it challenging because of our judgments, because of the way we see people, because of the labels we put on them. We did an exercise yesterday in our women's retreat where everybody wore a name tag, hello, my name is, and then it had an adjective. Some people liked what they got, and some people didn't like what they got, but you know what? We all have all of them. So all the words you can use to describe a person, we have all of them. And at times we're expressing from that, and at times we're expressing from something else, and we get to choose if we're awake, if we're aware. So somebody got grumpy and put it on my door. You didn't? Okay, there was another grumpy, put it. Well, I told the story of when I was a kid and my sister, she was Doc. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which I've told years ago, so I won't get into that, but I was grumpy by my family. And labels have an expiration date. They all do. So anyway, the point of it is, with our power of understanding, we have the ability to look past that. We have the ability to, not only for ourselves, and it's really vitally important that we see the good in ourselves, and also see the good in everyone else, because we all have this divine essence. We all have it. No matter how hard our outer shell is, no matter how strongly we identify with our stuff, with who we think we are, with our jobs and our adjectives that we're wearing on, sometimes we're wearing them loud and clear. But with our power of understanding, we can look beyond that. We can discern, and we can see the light, we can see the Christ, we can see the beauty, we can see the magnificence in everyone if we only look. We just have to look. I read a story this week of a couple of friends. They were freshmen in high school, and I don't remember the person's name. Let's say it's Ryan, the boy. He was wonderful. And he is walking home from school, and he sees this other kid carrying a whole bunch of books, and some other kids were making fun of him. And they run into him, and he drops all his books, and he falls to the ground, and he loses his glasses. And so Ryan goes over to help this kid. This kid's named Kyle. And he starts picking up his stuff and giving him his glasses, and the kid says, thanks. And Ryan said, this was the most beautiful, grateful smile I had ever seen on anyone. And so as he's helping him with the books, he says, how come I've never seen you? And he said, well, I used to go to private school, but now I go here. And he told him where he lived, and he goes, well, I live near you, let me help you. And Ryan carried Kyle's books for him home. And he said, I've got a lot. He's thinking, this kid Kyle he's bringing all his books home, like he must be a real nerd, because it's Friday. Who studies all weekend? So he said, I'm doing some football with some friends, and I've got some parties, and if you want to join me, that would be great. And he did. Kyle did join him. And that was the beginning of a beautiful friendship between the two of them. All through high school, they became the best of friends. At the end of their senior year, Kyle was the valedictorian, and Ryan got a football scholarship. And because Kyle was the valedictorian, he was going to make a speech. And so Ryan sees him before the speech, and the guy seems kind of nervous. Kyle seems kind of nervous, and he says, you're going to do great. You're going to do great. And he was reflecting on how Kyle had really blossomed during high school, that he had filled out, that he's one of these kids that looks really, really hot in glasses. He was able to attract all the girls. So, he was like kind of a little envious of his friend Kyle. But Kyle gets up and starts telling his speech, starts his speech, and says, as we're embarking on a new part of our life, we want to look back and appreciate those people in our lives that have helped shape us and who we are. We want to appreciate our family. We want to appreciate our relatives, our teachers who have done so much for us, and especially our friends. Our friends have shaped us. And he starts to tell the story of how he and Ryan met. And he said, I was thought of as a nerd because I was carrying all my books, but I was carrying all my books because I emptied my locker, because I was planning to take my life that weekend. And because Ryan befriended me, I didn't make this grave mistake, that this gesture, and Ryan had no idea about this. This was the first he heard of, but the point is, we can make some small gesture that might mean the world to someone else. It's up to us. Be a friend. If we want to have more friends, if we want to have those top-level friends, those top-of-the-ladder friends, we have to be that. So be that top-level friend. Make some gestures. Tell your friends, I invite you this week to tell your friends how much they mean to you. Honor the connection that you have. And just have fun with your friends this week. Have fun. So, namaste. Peace be with you.